Welcome to this new video on Assetto Corsa Save, where I'm simply going to, well, jump into Assetto Corsa Save to test out the new update that just came out. It's update 0.7, which was released very quietly. Usually the game developers had gotten into the habit of teasing each new update a little before its release, posting small pictures, short videos, little teasers just to get us interested in the update and simply to get people talking about the game. They didn't really do that for this 0.7 update. It was released very quietly, they announced the update, it came out right after, and that was the end of it. And it's a bit of a shame, because even though the 0.7 update isn't amazing in terms of content, there are only 4 cars, and honestly, they're not the most exciting. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But it's true that even if the cars aren't amazing, there are graphical improvements, there are physics improvements, and above all, there's modding. It's finally here and we're going to talk about it. Modding is finally making its debut on Assetto Corsa 7 with this version, 0.7. So we're going to talk about all that today. We're going to test the new cars, we're going to customize them when they're customizable. You'll see that this is often the case because they're almost all race cars. In the meantime, just a quick reminder. Don't forget, for those interested in ASSETTO EVO who might want to buy it, especially after watching this video, to enjoy modding and mods on Assetto Corsa. That the game is half price, or half as expensive if you prefer, through my instant gaming link, which will be under this video in a pinned comment. It's 20 euros instead of about 40 euros on the official Steam store, normally. If you enjoy my videos and want to support my channel for free while getting cheaper games, this is the best way, plain and simple. So the first car that's added, I'll show you a bit of gameplay with it. It's the Audi R8 GT3, which is much more powerful than the GT4 version we already had in the game. I won't show you the customization for this car because, like all race cars in Assetto Corsa EVO, customization is very limited. The only thing we'll be able to do here is change the color of the stripes, the exterior color, and the color of the front headlights. Either we can make them transparent, or we can give them a yellow tint, and we can possibly add the endurance kit, which will change things. The only thing is that it will add small headlights to the front of the car, a little aesthetic modification, but it's purely functional, since it's simply to have more headlights, for example, to drive during endurance races that take place at night. So there you have it, it's an Audi R8. The V10 is fun, but it doesn't have any wild customizations. The second car is going to be this one, the Porsche 900 GT2 RS in the Club Sport version. Which, as you'll see, is actually a pretty good car, but which, as you might also hear while I'm talking to you, has a rather subdued sound. For a race car with an engine that, in reality, sounds extremely loud and extremely metallic, it's not that impressive, you know what I mean? It's pretty muffled. But it's not a big deal because anyway, I'm gonna tell you some things, but actually, with this 0.7 update, mods are finally coming to the game. There you go, literally. That's it. The developers have actually given access to modders, so they can do the same thing as on Assetto Corsa 1, which is, well, add cars to the game. So for now, only cars. I think tracks will come later, because we know that the developers are actually working on a modding tool that players will be able to use later to model their own roads, especially to use LiDAR scanners to recreate real-life roads in the game. Like literally, you scan a road with your iPhone using LiDAR, and then you can fine-tune the details to add that section of road to the game so you can play on it. So that's a big new feature, but for now, modding will really focus on cars. But at least there's modding, because up until now, there was really zero mods. Since mods made Assetto Corsa successful, it felt odd to have an Assetto version where you couldn't change anything. Since update 0.7 modding is open, and a suite of software is now available on the game's Steam page for download, though not included in the game itself. At the same time, these will allow you to configure your mods so that they are actually accepted by Assetto Corsa EVO. Currently, we're only discussing mods available in single player. That's important to note. Even if you currently own the most beautiful car in the world, you truly have your dream car. I don't know, a Kangoo for example, on Assetto EVO. You can use it in single player, but for now, you can't use it in multiplayer. I think that will come later, once things really take off. Modded servers with custom rules, I think we'll be able to do multiplayer too, but for now, modding is only available in single player. But it's a big change. It means we'll really be able to enjoy community-made content now. And I think that's what's going to make this, and you all, a bit more popular in the end. Another Porsche, the Porsche 935, was also added in this update. So, just so you know, I was actually planning to do live commentary for you while I was discovering the cars. Except that the game capture worked fine, but not my microphone capture. So now, I'm dubbing over the video. That's why I'm not really analyzing or giving my opinion on the driving of the car, well, the cars we've tested so far. But, I think this was my second favorite car of the update. You'll see later there's a fourth car that was really my favorite. But it's true that the Porsche 935 we have here, which I believe is based on a GT2 RS, is much more pleasant, I think, to drive than the Club Sport. Anyway, here I went onto the grass, and I'm gonna try to give you a little demo, actually, of the new particle system, because indeed on ASSETTO EVO, there's an update. Well, this update added a new particle system. So it's really a visual system that's supposed to, well, improve things. Sand spray, smoke, basically anything that gets kicked up, like dirt and everything that goes with it. Don't ask me why, but I feel like it doesn't work for everything equally, and we'll see that later in this video. I think it works well for smoke, maybe also for tire smoke. There, we really have a much denser smoke than before coming out, and that's really cool. On the other hand, I don't know why, but I can't really get real sand or dirt projections, well, with this update. And you can see here, my particle option is grayed out. I can't customize it, activate or deactivate it, or change its quality. So I'm wondering if there's maybe a little bug that, for now, keeps us from enjoying all the little things we're supposed to have with this particle system. So maybe it's a bug, maybe it'll be fixed later, but for now, in my gameplay, it's not obvious. Except for the tires, like I was saying, where, yes, you can actually see it a bit more. You can see there's real smoke, but that's about it. Let me know if, on your end, you've noticed any change in the particle physics. Anyway, that's not the only graphical improvement, because normally with this update, with 0.0.7, there are quite a few graphical optimizations and a lot of fixes, because there are also graphical bugs. There's optimization, graphical quality, and bugs. In particular, there were sometimes, regularly, low-quality textures that would appear. Actually, there were two bugs that were fixed with this update. The first one is that sometimes, even when we set the textures to high quality, we would still get low-quality textures showing up. Sometimes, we would also get duplicate textures if you prefer. That means that, in the game, there were places where the game would render textures that we couldn't even see. It's like textures under other textures, if you prefer. And that would use up resources. So, normally that has been fixed, which means that now we should have a game that runs better, runs more smoothly, and should also look nicer. I have to admit, I don't notice much difference. I've always found ASSETTO Corsa to be a beautiful game. Even when it comes to the rendering of textures, the cars, and all that, I always thought it was good. And since I do have an RTX 5090 graphics card, I've never had any frame rate issues. So, from time to time, I might get a little micro freeze. I can also have an issue with capturing from an SSD that can lag a bit. But I've never had any problem getting good smoothness while playing the game, really, with high-quality settings. Maximum. So I'm not the best person to say if there's an improvement in graphics, or even an improvement in smoothness. Maybe that'll be more your case. So, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section of this video. And finally, there's the last car from the update, which, for me, is my little favorite. I have to admit I was pretty happy to finish with this one because, honestly, I actually prefer dirt roads over race cars. And here, it's a car that's really extremely pleasant to drive. It's the 240Z from Datsun or Nissan. It's the same car, which is available in two variants. The first one, then, is the really classic variant, which has a bit of customization, but it's mostly mechanical customization. Just look at this leather. That's one thing you can't help but love about ASSETTO Corsa. The quality of the textures. Look at the leather up close, the seats. You can see it's old-school leather. It's super cool. But, indeed, it's a car with a bit of customization, since you can add some equipment that actually comes from the car that was just above it in the range at the time, the 280 from Nissan. And actually, on this car, you can upgrade the gearbox, the engine, and the suspension to make, let's say, a 240Z plus, a slightly sportier 240Z. You can also do that, which is what interests me most about this part of the gameplay. You can also, in fact, directly use a modified version of the 240Z, which will be the pre-configured version. It comes with a slightly modified front end and all the parts I just mentioned already installed. Like, they're all installed. And which, in addition, has various little features. So, obviously, there's the whole aesthetic kit that comes with it. the little wide body kit, let's say, kind of like Rocket Bunny style. The small Watanabe rims are customizable, and there are a few other things you can tweak. And then, actually, by default, it has slightly higher performance since this engine makes 180 horsepower, while the engine in the regular Z makes 240. Honestly, it's really a car I recommend you try. It's really the car I enjoyed driving the most in this update. Because it's a car that's lively. It's a car that doesn't have ABS. So, first of all, you really need to be alert to drive it. It's a car that doesn't have traction control. There's no electronics, actually. It's you and the car against the track. And that's it. End of story. It's a car that's extremely well balanced, that drifts well, but is also very agile in corners. Actually, as long as you don't make driving mistakes like slamming on the brakes in the middle of a corner or letting off the accelerator and braking in the middle of a turn. It's actually a car that's very easy to drive. Very easy, but at the same time, very drifty if you want it to be. And there's something I really like about this kind of car in this game. Old cars, for example, have much slower clutches. You can feel that the game takes longer to shift gears. You can feel that the car struggles a bit, so to speak. And that's something that's really enjoyable because it adds a sense of lively driving to a car like this. And I have to admit, that's really, I think Assetto Corsa is actually the only game I know that does this well on Evo. So that's really, really cool. So overall, it's a good update, the 07, because, well, modding is definitely not a small thing. On the other hand, it's true that this might still not be the update people are waiting for. I think there are still a lot of players who are eagerly waiting for the arrival of the open world. And for now, we have absolutely no information about the open world yet. We know it's going to come, we know it's in development, but I mean, we don't have any part of the open world available yet. And I think that's really the thing with modding, actually. That's gonna bring people to the game. I think that when that happens, well, it's really going to hurt the competition. So, well, maybe it's intentional. Maybe it's also because Horizon 6 just came out. A new open world game would be cool, maybe for them to release Assetto Corsa's open world at the same time. Anyway, it would be cool to get some updates. So, let me know in the comments what you thought of this update. Don't hesitate to like this video, to subscribe for the next ones as usual. I also remind you that I do live streams on Twitch, so feel free to come follow me. And don't forget, of course, that you can use Prime to support my Twitch channel. You support me for free. And, there's also the Instant Gaming link, my channel's partner, under this video. I'll stop here and see you soon in a new video. See you tomorrow. Bye!